here, a gear there, and I'm going here to Atabey. Usually what I do while I'm hitchhiking is to play the harmonica. Okay, so I have been there for 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, not working, so I will just move, because sometimes cities have different exits, so it's better to be like in the last one, so you take the cars from all the exits. Okay, so usually it doesn't take too much time in Turkey. You just need to like continue. You will find some car that will take you to your destination. So I just need to walk and walk. It's 13 kilometers from here. I think it's not a problem. Like, don't take this time as a waste of time. Like, do something so you don't feel that you're wasting time. In the rural road, I found some people that took me to the rest of the trips. Traditional Turkish music. So as you know, in Turkey, since there are Muslims, mosques are basically everywhere, and they are very strong in their beliefs. So they have these mosques, as you can see. This one, it's interesting because the ceiling it has wood, and that's the minaret. The minaret is used for calling to pray. In the old times there was a guy there just calling for people to pray, but now they use those speakers that you can see there. It's very interesting. And this one is the madrasa, which is some sort of like a convent. So in most of the places, when you have a mosque, unless it's a very tiny place, when you have a mosque you have a madrasa, or you have a structure of different buildings, because usually close to the mosque there was this structure of markets and places to study. The madrasa, it's a place to study. So basically here in this area people used to study not only religious affairs but also other things. So this is Feretrum. Basically is how they don't bury the dead like when they are like very representative. So they keep them in this kind of feretrum made out of stone, solid stone, and then they put this clothing on top of it. Usually it's for people that has a very relevant role, and that's like a guy with a mask of anonymous masks. So yeah, this is the structure from outside, and you can see also this is very weird. It's like hands. Like, it's interesting. It was interesting. And this is, of course, the symbol of the moon and the star that you will see everywhere in Turkey. Of course, it's representative from the flag, and you can see it everywhere. So now I'm heading to another destination, which is a museum about the president Suleiman, which was very important basically on the region. And I'm walking through a cemeterium, and you can see like all these graves that are around. It's a very peaceful place. And this is the structure that they use to carry water, so that's interesting. This is also, it's a hammam. You can notice that it's a hammam because it has these holes on the top. Usually they are covered with crystals, and it allows to get the light inside. But of course this hammam is not in use anymore. I think this is the back side of the hammam, so this is the structure where the workers used to make the environment hot, So they use like wood and stuff like that, and they put it in this kind of um, space. So they burn the wood and they create steam. It's abandoned, and you can see also there that there are even bats there. So probably it has been quite some time since the Hamas is no longer in use. It's interesting because also in this hammam, basically it's a Turkish bath, and people kind of massage you, and they use soap to clean you and stuff like that. They have different times for men and women, or different areas. If it's very small, they have different times, and sometimes it doesn't matter if it's small or big. They have different times and different areas, so basically you don't see each other. This one that we see, as I was pointing out, look to those holes. They used to be crystals there. So in Mexico, these hammams are also, they were also in use. Now they are not so popular. They were called also Turkish baths, and it's basically a place for relaxing, and they have sauna and stuff like that. As you can see, this one that is no longer in use, you can see that it has a main entrance. So this one is the main entrance where people used to enter, right there. You can see it there, and you can see that now there are some people like having goats there and stuff. So yeah, now it's like a house. And these kind of houses are also popular in some little towns in Mexico, like made out of dirt, like barro, it's in Spanish, and we also call it adobe. So nowadays people use some sort of resin, some sort of liquid, transparent liquid, to preserve the structure. But of course they don't use that here, so that's why it's breaking up. Because also actually you need to use this kind of fluid every year, so it's a problem. The advantage is that they are thermic, so they are when it's hot outside they keep cold, and when it's cold outside they keep the warm. And that little cat, and also this is another mosque with the minaret, as I was telling you before, to pray. And in this point, I'm arriving to this place that honors President Suleiman. So, the name of the place is called Suleiman Demirel Kuliyesi, and you can see that it's like a garden, and it has a museum. It's quite interesting because it's this area, the one that shows basically all the history of his presidency, and you can see a lot of souvenirs from a lot of people and diplomats. So he was very important. He's there with ex-President Clinton of the United States. Chess, all the newspapers talking about him, and I think he was also important in the region because he developed the construction of different dams in the region, which is, this region is called Lake District. So all these lakes provide water to the region. So building dams and stuff like that was quite important. So he did many of those. You can see here the mosque that is also close to the Kuliyesi, and here it's interesting that they put these little stickers to show the social distancing, so in order to preserve the social distancing. This area, I don't know what it is, but it's so weird and cool, maybe for concerts or something like that. To be honest, I didn't find out, but it's really interesting. Like, the structure was very attractive to me. open and big. And now I'm heading to some sort of mausoleum for Suleiman Demirel. You can see these canals while I'm walking, the canals from the water. The day was like very hot, so I was trying to stay in the shadows as much as possible. So that's why I was walking in the left side of the road just to catch a little bit of shadow. And you can see how they use gravity to move the water from one place to the next one. So the mausoleum is really nice. It has some structures that it looks like water was the theme of Suleiman. So around the mausoleum there used to be water, but now it's not in use. Probably they have like a problem. So it's not as big as it seems in the video, but it's quite nice. Like the structure, it's really cool, the design, and you can see in the middle with roses and everything, the structure. And when I was leaving, it's really interesting because when I was leaving, the security guard gave me this fruit. I asked for water, he gave me water, and he gave me the fruit. And I was telling him, like it's okay, like I don't need the fruit, but he insisted on giving me the fruit. So that's also nice. In Turkey, you will find that a lot. People are very helpful and very welcoming. It's really cool. It's a cool place for being a tourist or a traveler. Not only in small towns, even in big cities, except for like Istanbul or whatever. And you see, like around there are a lot of cherries and plantations. And I found a tortoise. So that one is not that small. It's quite big. Not the biggest, but it's quite big. I tried to give it some cherries, but definitely these tortoises just want to leave, to be left alone. So it's funny because I found this one, and 2 kilometers later, probably, I was just walking around and I found another little tiny turtle. So I keep walking and then I found this little guy. It was it was really nice. How beautiful.